Good afternoon, everyone. This is Nadia Tian, reporting on behalf of Peace Ever TV from New York. Today, we're at the Malawi mission to the United Nations, and we're honored to have Mr.宗吉with us. He is the Deputy Permanent Representative of the Malawi mission to the United Nations. So, thank you, Mr.宗吉, for being with us today.
Thank you so much.
So we were attending the Agriculture and Business Summit just a couple of days ago, and the Malawi mission was hosting that summit. It was a great opportunity, and we definitely learned a lot of things regarding agriculture in Africa. And as we all know, that agriculture is a big part of Malawi economy. What do you think is the advantage and the disadvantages for this kind of the nature of this kind of economy, and what do you see as opportunities?
Well, indeed, the Malawi Permanent Mission to the United Nations held an agri-business summit because we recognize the fact that Malawi's economy is agri-based. And for the better part of that agricultural industry in Malawi, it is highly dependent on rain-fed agriculture. And the disadvantage of rain-fed agriculture is that in those times when you have drought, it affects your levels of productivity, and therefore it affects the economy. And in the extreme times of too much rain, you have similar effects. But there are opportunities for agriculture in Malawi to grow and move away from rain-fed agriculture, because we have several rivers that flow throughout the year. And we also have a lake which has a very vast and expansive valley. So irrigation is the greatest possibility for agriculture in Malawi. That's the reason our president, His Excellency Professor Abba Peter Mutharika, and his government have come up with a green belt agricultural initiative that is aimed at shifting from our dependence on rain to irrigation, and it provides a lot of possibilities for investors as well.
Definitely. So, as we all know that China and Malawi established diplomatic ties back in 2007.
Yes.
And definitely the Chinese investment has been increasing since then. So, what do you think are the barriers back then compared to now, and maybe still existing? What do you think are the barriers for foreign investment?
In the first place, I think Malawi is more open now to investment than it was when our relationship with China started. The greater advantage that we have now is the fact that Malawi has come up with a one-stop shop for application for business permits. It is taking shorter than it used to be. It used to be a minimum of 3 months for any investor to get a business permit in Malawi. But today, it is only 7 days maximum for you to come into Malawi and get a business residence permit to operate business in Malawi. The opportunities are great. Secondly, Malawian business people are also opening up to partnerships and joint business ventures with outside investors into the country.
Got it.
Yes.
That's really great news. But from the other side, from the other perspective, what's expected from a Chinese investor or any other foreign investor? What kind of things are the local people looking for?
I think in terms of the agricultural sector,
Yeah.
we are now looking at better ways of farming.
Right.
Our farming has for many years depended on manual labor using the hoe. That is very labor intensive, it's hard, you cannot produce as much as you can. So what Malawi is looking for is investment in machinery, in tools that will make agriculture better and faster in terms of production. After we have grown the crops and harvested, we are also looking at investments in the area of processing and value adding to food, to the agricultural processing products that we have made.
Got it. So from your perspective, what do you think is one of the, maybe name a few, the best projects to invest in Malawi?
It's a whole range of products.
Yeah.
Cotton, pulses, sugar,
And corn.
corn, yes, beans. Those are areas that you want to look at.
Definitely. So as we all know that there is a high prevalence of HIV and AIDS in Malawi, or used to be, which leads to a lot of, sometimes the short life expectancy and high infant mortality, and also is costing a lot of the government expenditure. What do you think is the strategy from the government's perspective to improve this situation?
I would want to tell you and assure you that the improvements are there. The strategy that the government has used in the past few years is paying dividends. The dividends are, we are beginning to witness a reduction of infections, the HIV.
Understand. Yeah, that's definitely great news as well. So actually, just one last question. I think back in 2009, the foreign investment actually decreased a little bit in 2009, but then it came back because of some of the barriers in lack of infrastructure, for example, power or water or telecommunication, or sometimes high service costs. Yeah. What are the improvements in the recent few years in terms of the infrastructure building?
Right. The government is working in improving the sources of energy. Our hydroelectric schemes are being rehabilitated, and their capacity is being expanded. We are also now getting into a Chinese government sponsored program of building a coal-generated electricity plant. So in that area of energy, efforts are being there to improve energy access. But we are also looking at other alternatives of energy, solar and wind, as some of those alternatives. The government is also engaged in the construction of roads that are opening up areas of the country that were not accessible before.
Got it. Full of opportunities.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Zongzi.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.